Is on hand for game one between the Portland Trail Blazers and the Houston Rockets. Now, these two teams have met 4 times during the regular season, and this man has taken control. Clyde Drexler, a member of the 82 and 83 Phi Slamma Jamma team at the University of Houston. His teammate, Hakeem Olajuwon. 2 Final Four appearances, losing once in the finals to North Carolina State. Tonight, they are combatants. During the regular season, it has been all the Rockets. They have outscored the Blazers by 10. They have outshot them, especially from the three-point arc, 31-13. Hello again, everybody. I'm Ron. Secured their second Midwest Division title in a row, and moments ago, they introduced the team, including their star, Hakeem Olajuwon. Kenny Smith leading the challenge as the Houston Rockets come into the summit with the 4th best home court record in the NBA as we look at tonight's Chrysler-Plymouth starting matchups.
Well, you know, I think you're going to have nothing but straight matchups all the way throughout this game until Chris Dudley comes in, or if Rick Adelman decides he wants to play Cliff Robinson at the center for a longer period of time.
And coaching for the Portland Trail Blazers, it is 47-year-old Rick Adelman out of Loyola University. And for the Houston Rockets, a man that has been part of this organization for 24 years as a player and assistant coach, Rudy Tomjanovich, now the head coach in his 3rd season. Our officials tonight, we've got a good crew on hand: Hugh Evans, Lee Jones, and Paul Mahalik. Chris Dudley will probably see him 4 to 5 minutes into the game as Rick Adelman did not want to start him, take a chance of getting 2 quick fouls on him, even though he probably do a pretty good job on a team.
Well, I like what he said about Chris Dudley. He said Chris Dudley pretty much is a player that's going to defend and going to rebound, and he's easy to fit in.
Rockets have won 4 straight playoff games here at the Summit. Once again, they swept the season series between these two teams, 4-0. And they have the 2nd best home win total in franchise history. 4th best overall in the NBA. Strickland, the running jumper, a little short. That is the key for Portland. They have to out-rebound Houston in this ball game to stay in contention, and they want Hakeem to feel the presence, and you saw him double-teamed immediately. And Houston getting an uncustomary offensive rebound. They are last in the league in offensive rebounding. Strickland with the rebound. Pretty good rebounding guard, 4.5 a game. We've played a minute, still no score. Dick Versace along with Ron Thulin, Ernie, and Isaiah in our studios in Atlanta. Robinson with the red headband.
Well,
Don't call me Cliff.
He's the guy that presents the greatest problem for Rudy Tomjanovich. Rudy was telling us that it doesn't matter whether he plays a small forward or the power forward or if he plays center. He presents a problem at all positions.
Olajuwon, now when he's over on that baseline, he will not dribble the ball. He usually turns and shoots. Look for Olajuwon when he's in the middle of the floor to put the ball on the floor. That's something Portland is very aware of.
Now, I don't think that was part of the game plan to give Cliff Robinson a warm-up jump shot. Little mix-up and matchups there.
Kenny Smith, and it won't go. But Lee Jones does blow the whistle. We have a foul. Rod Strickland whistled for his first personal foul.
Well, you got to wonder. You look at one end of the court, Ron, and you see Cliff Robinson has a wide-open jumper, and you had 4 black shirts out higher than he was. He got deeper in transition on defense than the rest of his teammates. Nobody stopped the ball, and Kenny Smith takes the ball all the way into the basket and shoots a layup. That's not very good defense. Rick Adelman can't be happy about that.
There you see the numbers on Kenny Smith this year, 10th in the NBA in free throw percentage. This is the 2nd time, as you saw in the last graphic, these two teams have met in the playoffs. Houston won that series 3-1. Our first tie of the ball game at the 10-19 mark of the 1st.
Little 2-2-1 3/4 court press, little bothersome press. Tries to get the shot clock down, 20 on the entry pass.
Strickland over to Buck Williams. Buck Williams signing the new contract in April, locked up for the next couple of years. Grant has it rejected by both Ori and Olajuwon. Maxwell. Buck Williams putting a body on Hakeem. Hakeem still able to drop it through. He's averaging 27. He has 2 tonight.
See, there's the example that Rudy Tomjanovich was talking about. He says, we want to force you to play 5-on-5, but we want to run on you.
Buck walked with it. We'll go the other way. 4-2. Rockets up by a deuce. 9:41 left to be played in the first.
Rudy Tomjanovich, Ron Thulin, also worried about Rod Strickland. He told us that there's no way you can practice for a guy like Rod Strickland. He's so quick, he's so unpredictable. But they do have a man out there in Kenny Smith that can match him speed-wise.
That's like Rick Adelman saying it's tough practicing for an Olajuwon because they don't have an Olajuwon on his team. Horry has been hot from the outside lately, and he continues that streak. He's 32% from the arc this year. He was 5 of 11 from three-pointers during the regular season versus Portland. Houston 7 straight points.
Tough shot. Tough shot. Harvey Grant.
He has struggled in the offense this year, almost losing his confidence. Smith all the way. Olajuwon there. The rejection by Drexler, but we have a foul.
Oh. Well, let's take a look at Hakeem Olajuwon doing what he does best. Blocking, triggering the break, running the court. Now look at him getting under control, directing traffic. Early post up in transition. Nice deep post up. There's the answer. And defensively, Buck Williams had no answer.
Hakeem Olajuwon, the 9-time All-Star, has 5 starts in the All-Star game. A very diverse young man. At 31 years old in his 10th year, speaks 6 different languages. Hakeem has 4. The Rockets have 9. It is a 7-point advantage. One thing Portland has to be careful of, they cannot be forced into just shooting jump shots, Dick, because they are not a jump shooting basketball team.
No, Ron, I think it's a major problem for him. But see, Rick Adelman feels that Hakeem Olajuwon not only presents a problem for him offensively, as you see Clyde bury the jumper, but he presents a problem as well defensively in that he takes away what little inside game they have.
Clyde, who's coming off the lowest field goal percentage of his career, has been hot during the stretch run of the season, averaging better than 24 a game. Williams has the loose rock, gets it up to Strickland. He has Grant on the left, Robinson on the right, Clifford with 2.
Now that's where Strickland's great. I mean, you just don't know what he's going to do. He's so clever taking the ball to the basket. He's so quick, so good with the ball.
Need that penetration by Strickland.
You know, Rudy Tomjanovich was telling us about Sam Cassell, and he described him as Rod Strickland with a shot.
No basket. Foul was before the shot. Well, Rick Adelman had a couple of keys before tonight's game. The foul was on Williams, his first, and they are these.
Well, he wanted to control Hakeem at both ends of the court. I just talked about that. He also wants to run whenever possible. That's vintage Portland Trail Blazers. But he also said they need to defend better, and they got to be more physical.
Well, the #1 3-point shooting team in the NBA for attempts and makes, get their second of the ball game, is Maxwell, who hit 120 during the regular season, gets his first this evening. And that foul was on Maxwell. That's his first team foul. 12-6 is our score. Houston on top, 7:50 left in the first. Drexler will inbounds the pass. Strickland had a step on Smith, but then Thorpe came over to help out. I don't know what that was, but it was ugly.
That's one of those bailout passes. You get in the lane, you jump up in the air, you don't know what to do with it. He had no place to throw it, so he tried an unbelievable bounce pass, threading the needle. It's called a turnover.
Well, the top 3 scorers for Portland during the regular season averaged 3 less than they did during the rest of the regular season against this Houston Rocket team. Thorpe just muscles his way inside on Robinson.
Well, if you don't defend this team, you must defend this team. That's what Rick Adelman was talking about. It's the responsibility of the guys that he puts out on that floor to defend better than that.
But there's the penetration that Adelman wanted before the game. That also allows for them to kick it out.
Boy, Rudy Tomjanovich was right, Ron. There's no answer for Rod Strickland when you get him in open court. He's got great quickness.
Started the last 58 games for the ball club.
Well, when you beat out a guard like Terry Porter, you're a pretty good basketball player.
Good ball movement. Shot clock at 7. The 3 on the way. And it goes. Check the rim. Their third 3 of the ball game. They are 3 of 3 from the arc. Hugh Evans blows the whistle. We have a foul, and we also have a timeout. 6:35 left in the first. The Rockets by 9.
He said that he wanted to trap off the passer. The pass is going to go inside to Hakeem Olajuwon. All right, there he is right there. Hold it right there. Here's the double team off the passer. Now let's see what happens as the ball is reversed. The ball is reversed back out top. Then it's swung. Now watch the rotation across the lane. Hold it right there. This is what you call a bump out. He bumps this man out. But look, Otis Thorpe puts a screen on, and the defender cannot get out. He gets caught on the screen. The shot is wide open in the corner, and you get a little bit of a crier, and it rolls in.
And it counts. Houston 2 of 8 from two-point land. How about 3 of 3 from the arc, though? Not bad. 5 of 11 overall. They've opened up the 9-point advantage. Porter, I don't know. Do you get the feeling they're a little listless almost?
I hate to say that. It's a playoff game, but yes, I just think that you would think they'd come out with a little more fire in the belly than what we're seeing. But maybe this is how this team plays. I'm not alibiing for them, but these eyes have seen players for lots of years, and it doesn't seem to be a lot of fire. There's a lot of talent, but not a lot of fire right now. That could change.
Maxwell. Oh, that rim is kind. His second 3 of the ball game. Houston very aware of what happened yesterday in the NBA.
They're just giving Cliff that shot.
Just let him take it. 10-point Rocket lead. Robinson takes it away. Got away with taking a step. It's a 3-on-2. Strickland has Drexler. Takes it all the way himself. Rod Strickland with his 4th. And quickly, Houston pushes it up after the make. To Horry. Got to get back on defense.
I'm calling a timeout right now, and I'm saying, hey, wait a minute. We just scored a layup at the other end, and we give a layup at this end because we don't match up?
Drexler, the one-hander, won't go. He tips it to himself. There's Grant. Over the outstretched hands of Horry. Robinson had a shot at it. Thorpe takes it away with those big meat hooks.
Got some mitts.
Man, those aren't Bambi hands either. We are in the Summit in Houston, where a near-capacity crowd has come for Game 1 between the Houston Rockets and the Portland Trail Blazers. With 5:05 left in the first, the Rockets lead it by 10 as Rod Strickland picks up his second personal foul.
Well, let's look at the hands of Otis Thorpe, Ron. You were talking about them mitts, you call them, or meat hooks. But watch what happens when he gets the ball. Basically clamps it, now goes ahead and fakes it, but then twirled it and then threw the outlet pass.
Well, Grant picks up his first personal foul. Already the 15th foul at the 4:59 mark of the first, so that'll send Robert Horry to the line. Interesting story for this young man. Traded to Detroit. At least he thought he was. For Sean Elliott. Then the trade, of course, fell through. He took it personally. Rudy Tomjanovich, who is very close to Robert Horry, said, hey, you've got 2 shots at this. You can either go ahead and be mad at us, or you can come out and play like you want to show us that we were wrong in trying to trade you. He decided to come out and play like they were wrong. He has played extremely well as of late.
Ron, I believe it's been a big blessing in disguise for the Houston Rockets. Robert Horry has played much better. He shot much better from the perimeter. You know, we didn't talk about the fact that there's a kind of a little confrontation, a little subplot going on between Robert Horry and Cliff Robinson. Cliff Robinson said, if Robert Horry guards me, I will kill him.
And both of them had a little fun with that. And of course, the media just ate it up. We've got a timeout, Portland. 4:49 left in the first. They find themselves down by 12, and I think they're going to make it a 20. They're going to make it a full timeout. So Rick Adelman needs the whole time to talk about this as his troops down by a dozen.
This is what we mean by poor transition defense. Watch Rod Strickland goes in, gets a nice easy basket, nice play. Now, when a team scores, there should be plenty of time to get back. Freeze it right there. There's an imaginary line that goes through the ball. Every one of these black-shirted players should be below this line. You see how many are not even matched up, and an easy basket.
We'll get our first look at Chris Dudley. Rick Adelman wanted to make sure that he's not too disruptive when he plays Dudley. He says, you know, he's only played 6 games this whole year. We don't want to put him in and have to change everything around. So he's very careful about putting Chris Dudley in, taking Harvey Grant out. Dudley, of course, the 7th-year pro out of Yale, the only Ivy Leaguer to play in the NBA currently. 4 of 4 on 3-point, 3 of 9. They should just stay outside the arc. Dudley not much of a shooter, but he will have a defensive presence and keep Olajuwon occupied when Portland's on the offensive end. Strickland now 6.
Very nice response out of the timeout. Rick Adelman called the timeout, set up a play. Kip Mata over there with a PowerBook computer helps Rick at the timeouts and tells him tendencies and plays that work better.
My goodness, he comes down and he hits the 17.
The whole package.
6 for Olajuwon. The lead is 12.
As soon as he saw Dudley on him, he moved outside. Dudley was hesitant to come out because he knew that Olajuwon would drive on him, gave him the shot.
One shot, you go the other way. Exactly what will kill Portland tonight if this trend continues. Nice pass inside. Once again, the big guy, Forbes, grabs his 4th point home. Portland, the first time in 5 years they've opened the playoffs on the road. They've only won 2 of 6 series when they did not have the home court advantage. As Robinson gets the 2, he has 6. That was back in 83 and 85. Now they find themselves down by a dozen again. Terry Porter set to check into Portland's lineup. Well, Chris Dudley had to make a decision there, Dick. He wasn't sure if he wanted to front him or play behind him.
Well, he's one of the most difficult players in the league to front because he's got such quickness and agility along with size and leaping ability. You're better off ducking in behind him.
Maxwell 4 assists, or he picks the pocket of Drexler, comes out with a 10 spot. Maxwell, his first non-3 tonight. He has 8. And once again, the trend that was during the regular season, the guards of Houston just capitalizing on Portland. 22nd timeout. They're standing in the Summit. .32-16, 3:01 left in the first. The Rockets and Akeem after the pocket being picked.
Well, he knows who's in the game. He knows he hasn't played much this year. Little down screen by Kenny Smith. Chris Dudley couldn't get over it. Akeem Olajuwon wide open. Now he tries fronting him. Dudley fronts, no good. There's the answer to that. And how about this? Triggered a fast break. The whole package from Akeem Olajuwon. Vernon Maxwell gets the layup. You're seeing it all. Not much in the way of a response from the Portland Trailblazer team. Rick Adelman, of course, right now unhappy about the way his team is playing, burning timeouts.
Well, Terry Porter's into the lineup. Rod Strickland takes a seat. Is Portland shooting 50%? Houston 65%. Porter from the outside drains the 2. Terry Porter, the 9th-year pro out of Wisconsin Stevens Point, started over 550 games for these Blazers until Rod Strickland replaced him as the starting point guard midway through this year. Olajuwon, there's no way you can stop that. That's 10 for Olajuwon. He's 4 of 6, but he gets moving with that dream shake to the left. Count it.
That is a tough shot, and he has the ability to create a little space because he shoots the ball with a little bit of a fade. So even if you close down on the shot, you can't bother him.
Shot clock at 7. This is Williams over Olajuwon. The turnaround jumper goes for Buck.
You know, we talked about this Houston Rocket team in the open. You asked, you know, what's different about them? I said one of the things, Ron, is that they've embraced defense. They were always a good offensive team. I look at the Portland Trailblazers, and I think, you know, if this team would embrace defense, make it important to them. Look at all the offensive weapons they have. They have an unbelievable triplets, you know, in the backcourt with Strickland, Porter, and Drexler, but they don't defend, and they don't get up and challenge.
6:40 left to be played in that Cleveland-Chicago game. The Cavaliers down by 9. Jerome Kersey has come into the lineup for the Blazers, and Buck Williams is going to take a rest. Rick Adelman now just trying to find a combination that may work.
maybe an oxygen tent would help, you know, or you know, one of those little masks where they breathe the oxygen. I mean, after all,
need helium in that.
Played a whole 10 minutes here.
Well, after the illegal defense, Vernon Maxwell hits his third consecutive three. He was only 30% during the regular season, but he shot over 400 3-point attempts. Houston with that swarming defense. Rudy Tomjanovich told us today, he goes, we can make anybody in this league miss a shot. No question.
Well, they are committed to challenging the shot or closing down on the shooter, whatever term you want to use for it. And their theory is we're going to make you miss, and they take great pride in it.
Maxwell with the rebound. Robinson tried to sneak behind him. 1:34 left in the first. 17-point Rocket advantage. They were 35-6 here in the summer. They shoot better here in Houston. They're 5-6 from the three-point arc as Clyde Drexler trying to get something going offensively. He has 8 of the 22 points as we near the 1-minute mark. The Rockets 14-0 versus the Pacific Division at home this year. Smith all the way, an uncontested layup.
Okay, so the defender got beat. Kenny Smith's quick. He beats a lot of guys. Where's the help from the weak side? Where's the challenge and protection of the lane? You got to bring the bodies across. You got to take charges. You got to block shots, and you got to swarm the lane.
Houston has hit 14 of its last 17 shots. That is accounted for a 17-point advantage. Kersey gets a step on Ori. He draws the foul. Foul's on Ori. That'll be his first. Only the third team foul. First in the final 2 minutes. And at the line, it'll be Kersey, the 10th-year pro out of Longwood College in Virginia. Second-round pick back in '84. 31 years old and first time off the bench as a player for the Blazers since '86-'87. And struggled early this year with his new role. A lot of people felt he was paying the price for 9 years of diving into the stands after loose balls and just really playing all out. But in the last half of the season, he has been extremely active.
I talked to Jerome before the game, and he said he just feels better. You know, his body feels better. It reminds me of Jim Otto or some of these football players that have played their whole lives and end up with arthritis. I mean, you're right, Ron. He was a player that did toss his body around.
Last touch by Portland, 13 on the shot clock, 25 on the game clock. Rockets had it. Rudy Tomjanovich, the third coach in NBA history to have 55 or more wins in his first full 2 years. Bill Jackson, Rick Adelman, the others. 5 on the shot clock. 3 on the shot clock. Ori finds the opening, doesn't get it. The tip won't go. Dudley had it. Robinson comes up with it. Final 10 seconds of the first. Porter stops, pops, nothing but air. Final 2 seconds. Robinson can get it off. It'll count, but he doesn't get it. What a quarter for the Houston Rockets. Vernon Maxwell from the arc. 3 3-pointers, 11 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. We've played 12 in Houston. Rockets by 16. We'll be back. We have played 1 quarter in the Summit. Both teams shooting extremely well, but the Blazers find themselves down by 16. And Dick, I tell you, they're a very unselfish team, this Houston Rockets, especially in that first quarter.
Well, it's very dramatic. The Houston Rockets have 14 field goals, and they use 13 assists to get those 14 field goals. And Ron, when that happens, your team feels good about itself, and not only are you producing points, you are producing a force that collectivity, you know, and good feeling that you have about yourself, you know, blends. And so the other team has to deal with that as well as your proficiency offensively.
Well, the Rockets averaged better than 30 assists a game during the regular season against these Portland Trailblazers. Terry Porter draws the foul. As Carl Herrera has come into the lineup. And that is Herrera's first personal foul. He checks in, gets the foul. So for Portland, Tracy Murray is coming to the lineup along with James Robinson. Robinson, the rookie out of Alabama, wearing jersey 26. He has the basketball. He's joined by Dudley, Porter, and Kersey going with the three-guard offense as Robinson goes hard to the floor. Murray, the follow. His first two. Houston counters with Sam Cassell, number 10. He is the rookie out of Florida State. Kenny Smith joins him in the backcourt. Herrera, Thorpe, and Ori round out the starting five in the second quarter for Houston. Herrera battling with Robinson, trying to post up the smaller Robinson. Well, Robinson has the foul called on him. As we look at Rudy Tomjanovic's keys, talk about putting the plan down and just executing that plan.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the X's and O's come alive. You know, you put them on the paper and they come alive. Slow the Blazers down. They've done that. No second opportunities. Pretty good job there. Rod Strickland's gotten away a few times, but the big thing that Rudy T's team has done is that they have forced a half-court game for Portland, but they've been able to run against Portland. That's why they're shooting 58%. Portland's shooting 52%, but not defending.
Oh, they did defend a three again as Houston now 6 of 7 from the arc. Remember, they had 31 threes during the regular season in the 4 meetings between these two. And they're continuing that. That's something Rick Adelman said. He goes, we've got to guard the perimeter. And they're not doing it tonight. They find themselves down by 17.
It takes energy to guard the perimeter against the Houston Rockets because they space up so deep. When you rotate out of a trap, that's a long, long run, and you got to have a lot of energy to do it.
Shot on the way is Dudley and Thorpe. We're having a little mini battle underneath. Porter to the hole. Banks closed. Kersey tries to keep it alive. The Rockets are running. They've got Thorpe. There he is. The reverse. It goes.
Very clever move by Otis Thorpe. Put a lot of English on that ball, Ron. I didn't really think he could get it down, but it fell for him.
Well, take that rim and bronze it after this game. It has been extremely kind to the men in white. Porter from the arc. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Porter 39% on the year. 16-point Rocket advantage. Portland 8-20 on the road in the playoffs during the 90s. Struggling again tonight. Smith finds Herrera.
Very unselfish. Penetration by Ori. Gets the ball to Herrera. Smith makes a penetration, gives it up. Easy basket.
Oh, that could have hurt. Last touch by Houston. No, they're saying it is a kick on Portland. So the Rockets have the basketball with 9:10 left to be played in the first half. It's still all the Rockets. Rick Adelman has his work cut out for him. Rockets by 18 with 9:10 remaining in the first half. And at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Budweiser Player of the Game. Budweiser will donate $1,000 in his behalf to the United Negro College Fund. That'll be coming up following tonight's game. Rick Adelman, only Jerry Sloan and Don Nelson have been with their teams longer. He has 2 years left on his contract, but I'll tell you what, he has been under a lot of pressure the last couple of years from the fans, from the media, a lot of speculation surrounding him, and the bottom line is this man has done a great job on this ball club. He has played this season without his center, and some of the criticism very, very unfair to Rick Adelman.
Well, see, if you've never coached, a nice steal there, good pressure, little 1-2-1-1 full court press, nice trap, step in and steal the return pass.
But you're right, if you've never coached, you don't know what that man's going through.
Yeah, you know, and I always am concerned about people who don't walk down tunnels as a coach, understanding what it is that a coach goes through. Magic Johnson found out how difficult it is. And you know, when you coach, you have no control over the feelings that you have because the responsibility is totally yours. There's a great loneliness in the leadership of coaching.
You can't have any wrinkles in your life while you're coaching. Now let's take a look at the playoff history of the Portland Trailblazers as Rick led this team to 2 finals back in 90 and 92. However, they were ousted in the first round in the last 8 seasons, 86, 87, 88, 89, and 93 last year. Very disappointing as Olajuwon comes back in. Of course, the conference finals in 91. Rick Adelman was quite a basketball player in his day. Set a school record at that time for the most points scored at Loyola University. James Robinson, he is as quick as anything underneath. The basket won't go by Williams, but we have a whistle and a foul. Just over a minute to go in the game. Chicago now has opened up an 11-point advantage. That foul is on Akeem Olajuwon. The game, of course, over on TNT. And boy, Mike Fratello, you don't want to go out when it's raining with him. You don't want to take a shot at that.
That's cold.
That'll get us back in the broadcast real quick.
Just happened. There's nothing you can do about it. Cleveland, of course, has been struck with injury even before Mike got there. Lenny Wilkins had a lot of teams that couldn't make it through the season. They broke down. But interestingly enough, the guys that broke down for Mike weren't the guys that broke down for Lenny.
That's right.
Hot Rod Williams always was a pretty good, long-distance runner, and so was Brad Doherty, and so was Larry Nance.
Olajuwon, he felt the presence that time of Kersey. That was a nice job defensively, but then Mario Elie, who's just checked into the lineup, makes him pay. Elie, who played in only 67 ball games, missing 25 with that fractured hand. This is his first action back. Robinson for three, buries it. James Robinson, the rookie, averaging 4.8 on the year, cuts the lead down to 13. Now Houston has to be careful right about now. But that kind of defense.
That's exactly what you should do against pressure. You should try to get the ball to the middle, and you should try to punish the other team for pressing you. Punish the press, take the ball right to the basket.
Kersey over Olajuwon. Olajuwon may have gotten a piece of it. Murray comes up with a loose ball. There's Porter. That's from the arc, and he buries it. Terry Porter's second three of the ball game. Porter with 10 for the game, 8 coming in this quarter. The lead is down to 12. It was 19. Elie to the hole. No defense by Portland. That'd have to drive you nuts.
Wow, see, I feel for Rick Adelman. This is the playoffs, gang. Hello, this is the playoffs. Let's defend a little bit. You can't burn any more timeouts than he's already burned.
Cassell has it rejected after Olajuwon comes up with the block. The rookie, he doesn't get the roll. Porter comes down with it. He's got Kersey on the left. If they hurry, they'll have the numbers. But instead, we have a whistle and a foul. That is on Kenny Smith. Smith picks up his second, and we have a timeout. 6:26 left in the half, a 14-point Rocket advantage. The Houston Rockets, who set a franchise record for fewest points allowed in a single season, have only given the Portland Trail Blazers a chance to get 38 so far tonight. And the Rockets have opened up a 14-point advantage. They've led by as many as 19. Well, this is a final. Cleveland makes a valiant attempt, but the Bulls hang on for the 8-point win, 104-96. Those of you watching that game, we're glad you switched the old remote again on this multiplex kind of night. We have 6:26 left in the half. Along with Dick Versace, I'm Ron Thulin, Ernie Johnson, and Isaiah Thomas back in our studios in Atlanta.
Ron, as we watch the Portland Trail Blazers come out of a timeout, it crosses my mind that there's a certain element that every team that really advances in the playoff has, and that's that great leader on the inside, that guy in the locker room, the holler guy, the vocal leader. Portland doesn't seem to have that guy.
How about that assisted field goal? Amazing. 18-20 is Portland again sticking with this three-guard offense. They're going with Robinson, Porter, and Strickland now. Only two big guys. Once again, no true center out there. Is Williams, I guess, will play the 5 spot, but now it is Kersey guarding Olajuwon, putting a body on him. An illegal defense, that should be the second of the ball game, called against Portland. The look of frustration.
Well, I think Rick Adelman has shown a lot of patience for the way his team has come out and performed. When you consider this is the opening round of the 1994 playoffs, they haven't shown a lot of energy. They do have a lot of talent. They try to win the game offensively. That doesn't work. Not when you get here. They should know that. They've been there.
Well, the strength of the Portland Trail Blazers used to be their athletes. But those athletes have a few miles on them now, and it's almost their weakness. Inside of 6 minutes. Olajuwon being guarded by Williams. Extremely quiet here in the Summit right now. Olajuwon, the turnaround, doesn't get it. He had 10 in the first quarter, has not scored in the second. Strickland has not had the penetration they need. This is a three by Porter, and Terry Porter drains his third three of the evening. 13 first half points for Porter. He's perfect from the arc.
He's had good looks at the basket. He came off the bench, measured three of those three threes, nailed all three of them.
Maxwell tries to retaliate. That hurts.
A pass off the backboard.
He said he got hit. Yeah. He'll call it a pass off the backboard. Terry Porter has really accepted the fact he is in the reserve role right now. He's taking advantage of it tonight.
Well, Terry Porter has a terrific attitude there, but look, he got a nice screen and easily buries that shot. He's a very strong player. Now watch this pass off the backboard here. Well, we'll all have to kind of say whether it was or it wasn't.
No, I don't think so. That was that goes down.
The only way we could truly tell is whether we saw whether Vernon Maxwell was hit when he went to shoot the ball.
Well, he turned to the official immediately and then said, you know, I was hit. Then he goes, oh, that was a good pass.
No, I thought he turned to the official and said, pass off the back.
He called bank, right? Drexler in.
Well, of all the people out on the floor, who might try that? Think about it. Who would try it?
Well, since we don't have Dennis Rodman here tonight, I'd say Maxwell. Yeah, that kind of goes well.
Max would definitely try it.
I don't know. That missed free throw by Dennis last night. He tried it.
Yeah, that was interesting, too.
That was good.
You know, Vernon Maxwell does not want to be called Mad Max anymore. He thinks that it's hurting his image. He wants to be called Vernon, or you can call him Max, or you can call him Vern, but don't call him Mad Max.
Okay, we won't do that. Strickland with the left hand won't go. Grant with the return, and he jams it through. Harvey Grant, his first two of the ball game. And the lead is down to 10, so Portland has maintained a little presence if they could just play defense. My goodness.
Ron Thulin, you're looking at me, and you're seeing me shake my head, wondering what it's going to take to inspire Portland to get their bodies back, get down in defensive stances, start over shifting towards the ball. Grant's spending some energy, excuse me.
Oh, you're exactly right. Portland 19th in points given up this year in the NBA. Opponents averaged 104 a game against them. We have a whistle and a foul. That'll be on Terry Porter. His first. And we'll go back to the line. This will be Mario Ellie. When he went down, Rudy Tomjanovich was very, very concerned, although Sam Cassell, the rookie, stepped forward. But Ellie gives this team an awful lot that doesn't show up in the numbers.
Well, for one thing, he's the second leading scorer for the Houston Rockets in fourth quarter scoring. Now, I'll admit it's not a lot of points. It's only about 4, but you know what happens in the fourth quarter. They go inside to Hakeem, and that's why they are so efficient offensively, because they pick their spots. They have these little measures of time during the course of the game where they want to go ahead and go to one particular player. In the fourth quarter, that's Olajuwon they go to.
Buck Williams snatches the rebound away. We have a whistle and a foul. Herrera whistled for the foul. Coming up at halftime, Ernie Johnson is in our studios with the Reebok halftime report. He'll be joined once again by Pistons guard Isaiah Thomas, who's making quite a career for himself out there. And they'll have highlights of tonight's playoff action, including the Nets, Knicks, Cavs, and Bulls. Plus, we'll have a contest. You'll have to name every starting 5 of the last 2 nights on TBS or TNT. Autographed picture of Ernie Johnson's in on it. Williams gets it to go. Otis Thorpe comes in. Herrera will sit down. Buck Williams signing the new deal that keeps him a Blazer through the 96-97 season.
Buck, an amazing athlete, still in double-figure rebounds at his age. The number of years he's been in the league. Very proud basketball player. 8 years with the New Jersey Nets.
Maxwell looked at the 3, takes one dribble, pulls the trigger from the 2, doesn't get it. Strickland had a shot at it. Cassell comes over with it. Olajuwon.
Look at this ball movement.
Cassell tries to force it inside. 15 on the shot clock. Rockets still have it. There is a man that Rudy Tomjanovich was extremely high on. He said, from the time I saw tape on him when he was in college, I knew I wanted him. He
also was impressed with the personal interview that he had with him.
How about a little dream shake? Akeem's first points
Little dream
in the
shake.
second quarter, 5 of 8. Yep.
He said that Casal came in and said all the right things. Said, I've been playing against pro basketball players all my life, and all I want to do is be a pro basketball player. I'm not interested in movies or music. I just want to play basketball. And Rudy loved that. He loved it.
Strickland has 8. The lead is 11. 3:15 left in the first half. We've got a whistle and a push. That'll be on Strickland. Now, Rod Strickland has picked up his 3rd personal foul. Let's look at Akeem on the shot. Last trip down the court.
Well, when things aren't going well, you always have a place to go offensively. The pass inside to Akeem freezes the defender, and then there's that space maker I'm talking about. You see Cliff Robinson, no hand up, no close down, no challenge.
Well, one of the keys for Rick Alleman was the penetration of Strickland and kicking out. That has just sat down with 3 personal fouls as Terry Porter has to come into the lineup. You don't want Strickland picking up his 4th here in the first half. Little lob pass off the back of the iron. Oh, Houston gets a break.
It's one of the few offensive rebounds you're going to see the Houston Rockets. See their spacing, see how far out they are. That's why they're the worst offensive rebounding team in the league, as they just get their 2nd.
Well, Robinson gets beat by the man he's been trash talking about the whole week. Or he takes it right away from him. There it is again. This time it won't go. How about the rebound by the big one? Smith from the arc. Another offensive rebound, and Olajuwon is fouled on the play.
But I'm just making the point about the fact that their spacing makes it difficult for them to get offensive rebounds. I'm talking about the fact that they're so far away, they don't run cutters when the pass is made, and what do? They come up with 4 straight offensive rebounds. Why the Houston Rockets are not a good offensive rebounding team. They have a method of spacing up far greater than any other team in the league. Look at the distance that they space up from the low post player here. So therefore, it's difficult to come all the way in here and get offensive rebounds, and that's why they're last in the league in offensive rebounding. But Rudy Tomjanovich says, hey, it's a trade-off, because we feel that we can be very efficient offensively by playing an inside-outside game. By throwing the ball into Akeem, he will score a high percentage of the time. If you come down defensively to double team that man, then we will throw the ball back out and hit the threes, and you can't rotate back out and get it. And that's the trade-off.
You saw that Houston not rebounding Portland on the offensive end, 9-7. Akeem now with 13 as the crowd begins the token MVP chant. We heard last night in San Antonio, hearing it tonight. That should be cleared up in a little bit. Akeem gets them both. So Akeem, who averaged 33 points a game versus Portland this year, checks in with 14 already tonight, and it is a 13-point Houston advantage. Porter working on Smith. Terry Porter again, another 3. How about his 4th tonight, folks?
Terry Porter will play any role you ask him to. He's playing the role of fireman tonight, coming off the bench, creating some offense for Portland, trying to keep them close.
4 3-pointers in one quarter for Terry Porter. Drexler with the finger roll. That cuts the lead down even further. It is down to 8. Houston is led by as many as 19.
See, that's one of the things the great athleticism of Portland can offer, a constant challenge to the basket. So if Houston doesn't get back, then they're going to be giving up the layups, and that is something that concerned Rudy Tomjanovich going into this game.
Well, that 4 3-pointers in one quarter ties the NBA record for the playoffs. Drexler had the putback, just didn't have enough leapability on that. 10-point lead. Alley-oop to Thorpe. Count it.
While Portland is relentless going to the offensive end, they are very inefficient coming to the defensive end.
Portland cut it to 8, back up to 12. Houston 21 fast break points already this season. This is a 3 by Drexler. A little flat on the arc, doesn't get it. A lot of black shirts. Drexler comes up with it. Grant buries it. Grant has 4.
Some players, Ron, don't like taking little, uncontested shots. Harvey Grant tries to pick up a charge there, so they like to get a little rhythm in their shot, and you saw Grant put a little rhythm in his shot, took it to the baseline, made it.
Olajuwon felt a lot of black jerseys on his shoulder. They wanted to try to crowd Akeem Olajuwon's right shoulder when he makes any type of a move. You saw it there. They did exactly what they wanted to do. He has averaged 22 shots a game versus Portland this year. Rick Adelman was just appalled at how many shots he gets no matter what they do to him.
Now, what was interesting is that Rick was telling us that we tried all kinds of different defenses, but every defense we tried resulted in the same number of shots, 22 shots. So one of their theories coming into tonight's game was to try to hold Akeem Olajuwon to lower than 22 shots. You saw Dudley try to front him. That didn't work. You tried to double team him. That doesn't work. There really isn't an answer to him, and that's why he is the Dream.
Got that right. The Dream just picked up his second personal foul. That will send Clifford, don't call me Cliff Robinson, to the line. Out of Connecticut, fifth-year pro, second-round pick back in '89. Over 400 straight regular season games. He's number 6 on the all-time list. Not a bad free throw shooter, 77% during the regular season. Now Herrera will come back in. Olajuwon's going to sit out. They don't want him picking up his third foul in the final 18.9 of the game. $19 was the biggest lead. It's down to 10. And it is down to 9.
If I'm Rudy Tomjanovich, I would rather go in up 9 or 10 than up 18 or 19.
Oh, yes. 6 3-pointers for Houston in the first half. 4 for Terry Porter in the first half for Portland. Smith to the hole. Doesn't get it. They're going to have to hurry. They're not going to be able to get it off. It won't count. Terry Porter, a valiant effort. No good. Porter's shooting has kept the Portland Trailblazers within striking distance. 16 first-half points for Terry Porter. Akeem Olajuwon with 14, but the Rockets lead it by 9.